How's it going, ladies and Bruce's up, Bobby Sixkilla. Welcome back to Tokyo Dark. It is time for us to find this book for, I've forgotten his name, the tea shop guy who seems to know everything about everything. A vault of knowledge, apparently. Do you have the book? The old man's shop next door. Isn't that place closed down? Closed? That can't be right. What else do you know about it? Pure conjecture on this one, but I think it might be owned by the kendo instructor from the dojo down the street. On account of him being the only one I ever see in there. You might not believe me, but I swear I saw him in there, chatting away to himself. Possibly he's a little nuts. Then again, it might be some super awesome kendo meditation technique. Oh man, why didn't I think of that before? Next time I would ask him for some pointers instead of spying on me. Word through the grapevine is that he's the regional champion or something, and he's trained some of the best. Lots of cops train with him too, so he must be good. Maybe he's not so crazy after all. Speaking of which, I have a bit of a crazy question for you. I know you said it was closed, but do you know anything about a book taken from there? Maybe recently? I was led to believe you would. Oh jeez. Go on. Like I said, the place has been empty for years, but you know, I spend a lot of time outside and half of the time the door's wide open, so one day a few months back I decided to look around. Nothing suspicious or nothing, I was just curious is all. Curiosity killed the cat, right? Anyway, it was all dusty and old and there was all sorts of weird stuff lying around. So I might have taken a little souvenir. I mean, it wasn't super old or nothing. I figured no one would miss it. Besides, it wasn't for me. It was for my kid brother. That guy can get deep in the dumps sometimes, so I try to be on standby for when that happens, you know? So I figured a little gift would cheer him up. And back then he was going through some particularly tough times. His bitch wife, pardon my language, miss, had left him and taken their kid daughter with her. He still doesn't talk about it. It's like he's in denial or something. Oops, got off track again. I was heading to visit him with the ill-gotten book when I got this phone call saying he was in the hospital. He'd OD'd on expensive sake and sleeping pills. Thank God that idiot decided to do it at the bar he owns, with the door unlocked. A customer came in and called for an ambulance. If it weren't for that, I'm not sure he'd still be here. It's quite a story. Sounds to me like he wanted to be found. Yeah, I think so too. I think he was trying to ask for help in his own way. In any case, I took the book to him while he was in the hospital. Tried to show him that even at his lowest, there was someone out there trying to do something nice for him, you know? I think it helped. For a minute, anyhow. As soon as the doctors let him leave, he went right back to that toxic little bar. I hope he's okay. He's got issues, but he's my little brother, and I worry about him. Oh my god, is your brother from the bar in Shinjuku? He's not been answering my phone calls lately. Originally, my brother's bitch ex-wife, sorry again, had the brilliant idea to put his skill to work in the cheap part of town. Despite that, he's holding onto it with everything he's got. Yeah, I know him. What's his name? I can't. I don't know. Daigo or something like that. The place is slowly bankrupting him, but he won't let it go. All he has to do is sign some papers and move on, but he can't. Something about it has his claws sunk deep into him. I've been trying to get him to join me in my business for years. He's a great chef, and we can make a killing. Maybe it's not the same as owning a whole bar, but serving passers-by and getting some sunshine is good for the soul. Plus, food stands are doing really well abroad, I hear. Much better than wasting away in Shinjuku at any rate. Shinjuku? He had a slimy little side stream. Anyway, if that book is important to you, he's probably still got it at his place. You want the address? Wait, I knew you looked familiar. Your brother's Daiso, right? You know him. Small world. It was probably the smile on my face that threw you off. Tell him his brother Haruto says hi. And while you're at it, tell him that takoyaki stands are still the future of cuisine, and to get his butt over here. I'll do that. Thanks for your help. Daiso, that was his name. Let's go. Man, this is a small world. Everybody's connected, no matter where we go. Everybody knows everybody. It's crazy, man. Hey Daiso, how's it going? Hey Ayami, how can I help you today? Hey Daiso, how things? Oh, you know, same old, same old. Funny thing, I met your brother while I was in Asakusa today. Haruto? You met Haruto? What are the chances? Who knows, it was pretty random. Huh, who would have thought? So is he still selling takoyaki at his stand? Did he say anything? He is, he said to remind you that takoyaki stands are the future of cuisine and that you should go and help him. Haha, yay. You talked to Haruto, alright? Anyway, always the optimist, that guy. I actually have a favour to ask you. Do you still have the book your brother gave you a few months ago? Anything that guy gives me is headaches. Not sure if I can help you, Ayami. He said he gave it to you when you were in the hospital. Oh, what makes you think I was in the hospital? I don't even go to the hospital for checkups. Besides, that dolt's bringing me stuff all the time. Always trying to drag me kicking and screaming over to where the grass is greener. This would have been more recently. After a rough patch. Maybe it was stupid to come and ask. Oh, no, it's fine. That idiot always running his mouth. Friggin' traitor. Those are just some hard times. Nothing serious. I drank too much is all. I'm sorry, detective. But I don't want to talk about it. Alright, understood. I'm not here to dig up bad memories, Daiso. Thanks. You said you were looking for a book, right? Truth is, I don't remember a book. I do remember Haruto giving me an old magazine, though, back in the hospital. It was one of those ones I used to read when I was younger. When things weren't quite so complicated. Wait there a second. I may have it in my storeroom still. Dang it, sorry, Ayami. Hold on a sec. Amazing how much junk someone accumulates over the years. Maybe I should throw some of this old stuff out, huh? Here it is. It's yours, detective. Oh my god, it's got Raina on the cover. No wonder I recognize that photo you brought by. It's the same girl. An idol named Ruby. Raina. No, Ruby, see? It says right there on the cover. Pretty crazy it was still in my shop. Guess that means you're still looking for her. I wonder why we keep running into each other. Weird luck, I guess. I don't buy it. You're a hell of a detective. You must have a pretty sharp nose. If you say so, Daiso. Do you mind if I take this? Like I said, it's yours. About time I started getting rid of some of my old junk. Thank you. See you around, Ayami. Take care, Daiso. Alright, now we gotta get back to the tea shop. Man, we do a lot of travel around here. I hope we get frequent bus trip miles. There must be something to gain out of that. Do we get flybys? I hope so. Welcome back, detective. Is that my book I see in your hands? Guess I'm a little surprised. Are you trying to tell me Raina is the mask bearer you talked about? That's hard to believe. Does it surprise you? After all, it is she who you see in the dark, is it not? The dark. That's what the collector called it too. How did Raina get tied up in all this? I only know that somehow the girl's path and the masks collided as if by chance. What circumstances led to this intersection are a mystery, I'm afraid. People always see history as something in the distant past involving old men and black and white pictures, but that book and that girl are as much a part of history as the rest. The threads that connect the past to the present, and people to each other, are not always apparent. But peel back the layers of connection, and the randomness of our universe neatly orders itself. A teen idol, an ancient order, the tool they created, and the detective who holds it now, all forming a neat and tidy line. Raina was some sort of idol living in Tokyo? Not part of a sleeper cell of some cult, it doesn't add up. Oh, that detective, we can agree. So why don't we start at the beginning? To how the mask ceased to be a mere object. The story starts in ancient times in the year 1333. At that time, Kamakura was the capital of Japan. Led by the Hojo clan, it was a time of peace, prosperity, and enlightenment. Peace among men is cyclical, and like so many before them, and so many after, their time of peace came to an end. The Nita clan, loyal to Emperor Go-Daigo, led a siege against the Hojo-controlled Kamakura, taking the city as the tide receded, leaving a key passage open to the invaders. The Hojo clan fled to the caves of their family temple. For them, there was no hope of victory or escape. They chose to retain their honor. Instead of surrendering, the 870 Hojo samurai, including the last 3 regents, committed mass suicide. However, the Hojo and Nita clans, embroiled in their quests for empire, could not see the role they played in the plans of another group, the religious sect known as the Kamenkai. It is said that in the flames of Kamakura, a girl was seen wandering the streets, observing the carnage of the burning city. A girl lost to the histories by the name of Shichijo, jeez, the last survivor of the Kamenkai. Okay, so whatever the Kamenkai were trying to do, they failed. I mean, they all died, right? No, they did not fail. Everything went exactly as planned. Shichijo did not survive by chance. She was chosen. Chosen for what? To receive the blessing of all the spiritual energy that so much death afforded, to become the first mask bearer. Mask bearer. The Kamenkai used the deaths of all those people to create this. Why? Legend has it the Kamenkai sought to contain a door, a rift leading to the spiritual realm, where our consciousness has ceased to be and time holds no meaning. A place where cause and effect could be changed. Why? Why spend so much human life and give up so much to do that? To stop it from being abused, imagine being able to see the world as a god, so that the flow of time and the rules which govern our world are of no consequence. This is the power of the door. To a mortal mind obsessed with the finality of death and meaningless accomplishment, such power would corrupt absolutely, a power over death. So a dark place was created to obscure a door and hide it from mortal eyes, along with a tool to control and see within the darkness. It's true, all of it. It sounds like a fairy tale, but it's true. Finding the door could be the key to bringing Tanaka back. Some doors, we never told you about Tanaka, some doors, no matter how strong they call to us, are not meant to be open. And the Kamenkai willingly gave their lives to keep it that way. The mask opens the mind to all those who come into contact with it, but it is intended for its bearer. Using it to find the door may destroy. Maybe you're right, but I could at least use it to find my way in the dark, just like the Collector said. The only thing I don't get is how Reina is connected to it. That is a mystery. As Mr. Kawana told you, the last known location of the mask was the Kamenkai cult, only a few decades ago. Much was suppressed about the Kamenkai under Tokimasa. They existed, and then on March 4th, 1996, they met their end. There were many theories. The police killed them during their raid of the compound, or that someone within the cult had snapped and murdered the others. Nothing but conjecture, I'm afraid. The real answer lies somewhere deep within police records, and though I remain curious, it is not something I have access to. Perhaps the best place to start is there. Finding out about the last days of the Kamenkai may help light your path to the truth, though I wonder if such an object, bred from suffering, can truly put an end to it. Is it you who can finally break this terrible cycle? I've spent a long time here. I'm tired, so tired. Farewell, detective. Okay. I guess we're going to where the old Kamenkai cult was. Sitting there comfortably, the historian Yasuhisa casually laid out everything that I've experiencing like he was reading it out of a book. A mass suicide, ancient groups, and a door to a spiritual realm. It sounds like a myth. An interesting story told to travelers in a bygone era. It's hard to believe it relates to Kazuki and Reina. I can't see it. The bridge between the Kamakura samurai and a young girl. He said Reina fit into the story. She's a mask bearer, but how? Yasuhisa, the Collector. I thought when I met them I'd entered their world, and could start to understand, however faintly. But my intuition as a detective tells me they're hiding something from me still. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I need to keep going. What day is it anyway? How long have I been chasing these leads? Day turns to night, the hours bleed into each other. Even the seasons don't seem to follow their natural order anymore. Everything's blurring together. Ugh, my head. Maybe I should take my medication. Impossible as it seems, following the old man's hunch is my best bet to finally understanding the mask. Even Takashi didn't know what happened to the Kamenkai. Finding the police report is the way forward. A few weeks ago, it would have been easy for me to ask her out and pull a file. It'll be a bit more difficult now, I imagine. What's the worst that can happen? I should head to police HQ and see what I can find. That's where we're going. If we could just find out where the Kamenkai was situated, where their compound was, we could explore it. I know they're all dead, but we could at least turn the place upside down. You know? Oh shit, you gotta be kidding me. Funny, me and some of the other guys were just talking about you after practice the other day. Specifically, we were talking bets about how long it would take before you showed your face again. Shame you coming in here now cost me 10,000 yen. Not that it matters. Ever since you left, things are looking up for me. I won the last department kendo tournament and I've been enjoying my promotion. Oh yeah, thanks for the new office by the way. Anyway, non-active duty cops, or you in other words, aren't allowed in HQ right now, so what do you want? I need a favor. Oh man, this just gets better and better. Begging me for a favor, huh? Kinda figured you might someday. So what do you want me to do, Ito? Sneak into the evidence locker? Steal your gun back for you? Like I'd do anything for you. The brass have already told everyone in the damn station to steer clear of you. You consider bad luck for people's careers. Well, myself excluded, I suppose. Wouldn't expect anyone to do you any favors from here on out if I were you. And I'd rather not people see us talking and think we're all friendly or something. Now get out before I have to call someone down here. Can't I just talk to her? She owes me a favor. Asakusa, why is that coming up? Alright, let's go to Asakusa. I don't know what we're here for, but it is coming up like it's a thing. Maybe we can talk to the... No, he's gone. Talk to the brother again, I suppose? I'm surprised to see you back. How can I help you, detective? Oh, you train police. I was told your dojo trains a lot of people in the police. That's right, I train many of them personally. Do you know Akira Taira, a detective from Tokyo HQ? Ah yes, Detective Taira. I know him quite well. A man with a great deal of innate talent in martial arts, though that talent is offset somewhat by his, how to put this, brash personality. Brash is a very diplomatic way to put it. Sorry to put you on the spot, but Taira's about the only usable link I've got left in the police force, and the one person who's trying to stop me the most. Seeing as you train him all the time, I was hoping you might know something that would change his mind, if you know what I mean. Are you asking me to help you blackmail Taira? Beyond the obvious reasons why I wouldn't help you do that, I also happen to think it won't work. You might be surprised to hear this, but Detective Taira actually lives a fairly straightforward life. His successes are nothing that would draw any scrutiny, at least not among his fellow officers. I hear he's engaged to be married soon as well. Someone actually agreed to marry that slime? That poor girl. Yeah, it's a very nice girl. Apparently they're quite happy together. Oh yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. I ask what exactly Taira did to make you feel so strongly? Did to me? You should be asking him that. Ever since I started, he's looked down on me, and never missed a chance to remind me how he felt. I ignored him because I figured if I worked hard enough to earn my promotion that it would shut him up once and for all. You eventually got this promotion, I take it. Well, did he shut up like you thought? No, he got worse. It started with him spreading rumours about me sleeping around in HQ. Then there were various complaints to my supervisor. He couldn't stand that I'd won. It's all fallen apart now though, huh? He's got my old job and every time I see him he's that smug grin on his stupid face like he's mocking me. So you hate the fact that, at least in his mind, he was right. Something like that. Tara's not the first person to think a woman didn't deserve the promotion I got. But it stung a little extra when he ended up at my desk. Yes, I thought as much. You're not saying you think that brown-nosing, womanizing, lazy, good-for-nothing arsehole actually deserves my spot, are you? No, I can't judge the inner workings of a police force, but from what I've heard, it certainly wouldn't be the first time an officer didn't earn their promotion honestly. Often I've watched my students spar and I always notice an interesting trend. You see, usually the outcomes of matches have nothing to do with their skill. Is there a moral at the end of the story? Patience, either. You see, two students will face each other, but before they even draw their swords, they've decided the outcome. Students rank each other and themselves based on practice, their social status, their skills, or any number of things before they enter my dojo. A student perceiving himself as stronger will always be more relaxed, more ready to attack, while the students who resign themselves to defeat desperately defends. It's not skill or merit that wins a battle, it's expectations. Do you see where I'm going with this? I do, and I'm not sure if I like it. You're saying that unless I can break Taira's perception of me, I'll keep losing, right? Exactly. For a man like Taira who expects certain things of a woman, you've defied him at every turn, but if I suck up to him and play the part, I might throw him off guard enough for me to win this fight. Sound about right? Very perceptive. Here, this should help. Sake? It's a gift. Oh, that's so flattering, I barely even know you. I suppose in order to degrade myself to scum like Taira, I could use a drink. It's not for you, it's for Taira. On here I was thinking you're being nice. This is a very expensive brand, as a matter of fact. It's Taira's favourite. A gift for his promotion. A promotion he stole. A promotion into my position. Think of it as a way to throw him off balance. You can't strike at his heart until he drops his guard after all. You know how to play the role he expects of you. I suspect you know the type of woman he likes. As much as it pains me to admit, that might work. Thanks for the sake. I spoke to Yasuhisa, the historian. Oh good, and? Takashi, what is he? I don't understand your question. He's one of them. Them? Ito, are you alright? He's just an old man, what else would he be? No, Takashi, you must have noticed there's something off about him. Like the collector, but no, not exactly like him. I'm not sure what Yasuhisa told you to ski like this, but I've known him for years. He's a bit eccentric and too philosophical for his own good, but he's harmless. Allow me to offer some advice. What you're feeling right now? It's not him. It's you. The more time I spent researching the Kamenkai in the past, the more I began to feel the world had gone mad. But it didn't. It continued to turn on its axis the way it always does. It was me who became unhinged. You could always walk away, Detective Ito. Some mysteries aren't worth solving. Why would we drink the sake? Why would that be an option? Like, how would we convince him if we did that? Who knows? We're gonna go suck up to him. I hate this. I do not like this at all. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm sorry. That's it, Ito. I've had enough of your... Wait, what? You heard it right, Tyra. I'm sorry. You're a good detective, and I never did congratulate you on your promotion. Here. This is for you. I get it. You think bribing me's gonna work, huh? Ken no Michi? Is that a bottle of Ken no Michi? No way, it sells out in weeks. Even my family rarely manages to get a bottle, and they knew the people to ask. How'd you get it? That's not important. Consider it an apology for how I've treated you in the past. I present this to you as a way to formally hand over my opposition to you. It's clearly in better hands now. But... Ito? Sit up, will you? Ito, it's fine, just sit up already. Okay, I accept your apology. Hell, didn't know you felt that way. I mean, in light of recent events and all, it's long overdue. Guess with all the stress you've gone through, the delay is understandable. Glad you finally learned to manage your emotions appropriately. Thank you for your kind words, Detective Tyra. Once I return to the department, I know I'll have much to learn from you. Hey, it's a little early for that talk, don't you think? We won't even know if they'll let you back on the force after the hearing. Yes, I suppose you're right, Detective. I shouldn't have spoken so brashly. You know, stop that, please. I always thought you'd be a better cop if you listened to your fellow detectives a bit more. Suppose there's a lot you have to learn from me, huh? I know you're right, Detective Tyra. I was brash before. That's probably how I ended up here. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for dropping this by, Ito. To tell you the truth, it's been a tough time for all of us. It's better to stick together. We're all on the same team after all, right? Maybe once you're back and me and you can partner up. One can only hope I'll be so lucky. Right, look, I gotta get back to my office. You need anything else? Well, I was thinking, but... Oh no, I couldn't possibly bother you. You're so busy. It's fine, I can handle it, go on. Well, I know I shouldn't be, but I've been doing a little research in an unofficial capacity, you know. I was wondering if you could pull a file for me. You know I can't give you access to the system. You're suspended, and besides, it'd be against regulations, and... I guess if you stay on that side of the counter, I could get Ishibashi to help you. Don't think this means we're best friends or anything. It's just repayment for the Ken no Michi. Oh, thank you, but Detective Tyra, I wouldn't want to impose on your busy schedule. Again, stand up. Saki, I'm going back to my office. Look up the file Ito wants. Log the search query to my name. Got it? Yes, sir, of course. I'll be in my new office all afternoon. So, any calls... So, direct any calls there. Clear? Yes, sir. I think he's gone. Damn, Ayami. I mean, I've twisted some guys around my finger before, but that was something else. I don't think it'll take long to get to your office back, but if you can keep working that magic... Ayami, listen to me very closely. It's very, very important you train me how to do that for professional purposes. I think you're alright on your own, Saki. Oh, fine. Be that way. Anyway, you got Tyra's sign-off. What do you want me to look up for you? On March 4th, 1996, there was a raid on a compound belonging to a cult called the Kamenkai. I'd like the official report, plus anything else you can find on it. Wow, that's some heavy reading material. I'll get right on it, boss. Doesn't seem like there's much to go on here. Looks like there's only one file. Righto. I'll put it on a USB for you so you can take it with you. Just don't tell anyone. Here you go. Thanks, Saki. I owe you one. That's a messed up looking USB drive. Jesus. You owe me more than one, Ayami. See you around. We're going home. We should take our pills. Although I think our stats are looking pretty solid at the moment. I'll just have a quick squiz at them. Look at that. Minus 17 sanity, that's not bad. Minus 1 professionalism, not bad. 93 investigation. Hell yeah. Minus 46 neurosis. I assume that's a good thing? Minus neurosis sounds good. Plus neurosis sounds bad. I think. I might be wrong about that. It's blank. Oh my god, that stick, look at it. Something doesn't smell right. There's a raid on a compound and all that's left is this lone debriefing. It doesn't add up. Not to mention so much of what here is redacted. Officers arriving at the scene found 12 people dead on arrival, including Tokimasa and Mai's parents. What are the details about how they died? Not to mention the report itself was filed almost a week after the raid, so aren't there any autopsy reports? It says here 2 children and 1 adult are believed missing. That must be Mai, Takashi and their grandmother. Guess that means Takashi was telling the truth after all. So many people have been hiding information from them, it's almost a relief. Still, for such a short report it raises a whole lot of questions. The list of the dead, their causes of death, if there were other survivors, what else they found, it's all lost. Even the location of the compound has been classified. All I know is that the mask was found in the middle of a pile of dead bodies. What the hell happened here? Why was it covered up? Tasked with raiding compound belonging to cult known as Kamenkai located and redacted. Jesus, it doesn't even have the location. Mission details redacted arrived to discover 12 bodies, DOA, dead on arrival near compound, including cult leader Shinji Umizawa, aka Tokimasa. Other bodies include 6 females and 3 other males of varying ages along with 2 children, cause of death redacted, 2 other children and 1 adult considered missing, maybe dead, other survivors redacted. Personal effects collected at the scene of the crime including mask and several other ritual objects. Raid considered a success. Cult known as Kamenkai's activities have ceased. Surviving members have been rescued. Interesting. The report is unclear, but it's obvious that the mask had a part to play in those 12 people's deaths. A young girl's suicide in Shinjuku made me aware of the dark, and I know now that an ancient mask can be used to find a door that may be the key to getting Kazuki back. We never meant to use that door though. That's what the Izanami story was about. You can't bring people back. Learning about those 2 facets of the mystery was supposed to be enough to show me the way to the dark. But even though I can feel the dark, something is still wrong. A piece is still missing. My gut tells me the missing information I need has to do with what happened to the Kamenkai. I have to make the Kawana woman talk. She's the only one alive who could tell me what happened that night. I mean, that's true. The grandmother. The pills are yeah, I know. Just take the pill. It's gonna keep our sanity in check, man. We're not even gonna sleep, we're just going straight. Man, we've just been working non-stop. Half of the locations are missing off the map now. Alright. Maybe she'll talk now. You, I told you to stay away from my family. Don't drag my grandchildren into this any more than you already have. Stay back. I have questions about the Kamenkai, the group your daughter and son-in-law were a part of. You're the only one alive who'd remember. Kamenkai, I don't know anything about it. Leave me. Grandma, enough. Listen to yourself. Do you even realize you're lying anymore? Takashi told us everything. And you, Ito, just because this investigation's important to you, doesn't give you the right to barge in here. Ma, your grandma and I need to talk. If it upsets you, maybe you should go. No, I'm not going anywhere. This is the house I grew up in, and it is as much mine as it is grandma's. If you have something to say, you can say it in front of me. Only a little while ago, I found out my parents died in some cult, and no one even knows why. You think hearing that was easy for me? I want to help you, Ito, but all the deceit and lies are starting to hurt people. What I'm chasing is so much worse. Tell that to the poor man in the station. He's in the hospital now, terrified out of his wits. People aren't only here to be used for information, and then thrown away while you move on. They have lives too. And bringing up the past can hurt. Surely you of all people understand that. I do, but ignoring the past won't make it go away, and there's unfinished business from the Kamenkai that needs to be taken care of. But what's left to talk about? Everyone's dead, right? I promise to talk to you about all this later. For now, let me and the detective talk. Go on. You were cooking us dinner, weren't you? Alright, we'll talk about it later, but I'll be in the other room if you need me. So you found me out. Now that Mai knows, I suppose there's no point in keeping it a secret any longer. The truth is, my daughter never would have joined the Kamenkai if it weren't for me. I convinced her and her husband to join. I was already a member. At the time I joined, my husband had left me, and I'd lost my job, suddenly leaving me a single, unemployed mother who could barely support her daughter. That's when Tokimasa found me, and told me that society had stigmatized and shunned me was a fiction, a great machine to be fought, and that my very soul was at stake. Of course, he used me, as he did everyone else. I desperately wanted to hear that my struggles weren't my fault. They stole everything from me, my youth, my mind, then my child. And then one day in 1996 they all died. The cause of death was buried and no autopsies were performed, or if they were hidden. Why? That's simple. The government didn't care about some dead cultists in the woods, and covered it up so the papers wouldn't sensationalize their deaths. That's it? After everything I found, you expect me to believe that? 12 people died that day and no one knows why. What happened? Tell me the truth. You want to know what happened so badly? Fine, I'll tell you. They died for nothing, following in the footsteps of a madman who believed that life was an illusion. As words of other compounds and other groups being raided spread, Tokimasa began warning us that the end was near. He believed that the world was collapsing and it was time for him and his followers to abandon the flesh and find purity among the gods. My Emiko, she didn't die from some conspiracy. She chose death, because she no longer had an anchor to reality, and it was my fault. Beyond that, I don't know what happened to them. No, you do know something. In the report it says, after the officers cleared the bodies, they found the mask. The same one you handed to me 6 months ago. That's... Tokimasa would always keep it to himself, saying it granted him sight into the realm of the kami. I needed it. You don't understand it. It allowed us to see strange things and people who were gone. The guru was a fool, a fake, but the mask was real. There was a rumor that the cult members were killed by one of their own. Surely you didn't. No, you don't understand. I would never kill my own child. I didn't take the mask. It was given to me. One day a man, some journalist or other, showed up at my door carrying the mask. I couldn't believe it. I begged him for it, and he stood there smiling at me. His eyes were like none I'd ever seen. It was strange. All he wanted in exchange for the mask was a picture of Emiko. It's the collector! A picture of Emiko. When I joined the cult, I was forced to give up my possessions, and only had one left, but I gave it to him nevertheless. I thought if I had the mask, that I could find her, that maybe she would forgive me. As soon as I had it in my hands, my mind opened. I could hear her voice. So he went to the sewers chasing after her, thinking he could save her. Takashi told you that as well, did he? Yes, it's true. Emiko was crying out to me, begging me to find her and free her from a dark place. I would have given anything to hold her in my arms again, to plead her forgiveness. I don't care if you don't believe me. It's like Tanaka was calling out to me. I do believe you. There are probably some of the few people left alive who know what this mask is capable of. If you really thought it would help you find her, then why'd you give it to me? Because I was wrong. At first I only followed whispers. Then I found myself in a strange labyrinth, chasing after her shade. The days bled together. I lost track of my grandchildren, of the shrine. It was an illusion. No matter how hard I tried, I never found her. I only became more and more disconnected from the world around me. I descended into madness. I was being used again, just as Tokimasa had used me many years before. I tried getting rid of it, throwing it away, burning it. None of it mattered. It always came back. And when I did, the visions and whispers only got worse. So I put it out of my mind and tried as best I could to live a life of solitude and ignore the screams of my daughter. Then you came. And when you did, the mask was screaming out in voices I'd never heard before. I thought it was a sign, so I gave it to you. I didn't even have time to breathe out a sigh of relief before I heard a gunshot ring out. No one else ran to it. I think I was the only one who knew that sound for what it was. I thought the mask was punishing me once again by taking Mai away from me. Instead, it had passed tragedy to another. I'm sorry. Perhaps the mask of the knowledge should die with us. The mask of the knowledge of the mask. There is one other person who knows about the mask, a girl named Raina. Does that name mean anything to you? No, I don't know anybody by that name. Do you expect me to know everyone who's been touched by the mask? No, but you were involved with a group that worshipped it. Are you sure you're telling me everything? Yes, what good will accusing an old woman do? Unless you're chasing someone too. That must be it. Mai told me you lost someone. Your partner in the police, is that right? If I'm right, then I suggest you stop your search. The place I was shown by the mask was not meant for the living. I barely escaped with my life. Stop while your mind and body remain intact. What if I told you there was another option? What other option? In the months since I first met you, I've had time to examine the ancient texts in this shrine, and as the mask grew further away, it loosened its grip on my mind. I knew then that it would someday make its way back to me, and so I became determined to find a way to protect myself and my grandchildren from its influence. The darkness of the Kamenkai and its ritual object are but manipulations, used to sever our connection with what is truly divine. The mask breeds darkness. Dark forces can invade all manner of living and non-living things, driving them to violence or death, which is why evil cannot be used or tolerated. It must be destroyed, the only way to save us from its grip. Destroy the mask? I thought you said that it couldn't be done. Not physically. Grandma, is everything alright? I overheard you talking about that mask again. Yes, dear, but we needn't worry. In fact, it's good you're here, as this talk involves you. Mai, you've trained in exorcism and purification rituals for quite some time, haven't you? Such a ritual could purify the mask and turn it into a mere piece of wood. Given we gather the right materials, of course. I can tell from the look in your eyes that you think me to be senile, but I'm quite serious. Even modern rituals have ancient roots, and with enough conviction, they are still capable of great power. Before I was content to die as long as the mask didn't hurt my children, as I was too feeble to do what was necessary myself. But now seeing you here, I see a second chance to do what is right. And if you truly know what the mask is, then you must help me destroy it. Slow down, I didn't come here to be involved in a ritual or an exorcism or whatever you call it. I only want the truth about the Carmen Code, which you still haven't told me. You're a stubborn one, aren't you? So be it. I can see there is only one way to change your mind. The only trace of what happened that day would be at the Kamenkai compound itself. The records of its location are lost, and they were never made public, but I know where it is. What's the catch? Go there, search for your truth, see what worshipping the mask has wrought. When you return, you'll help me destroy it. What makes you so confident I'll change my mind? I went back once, years ago. In all honesty, I'm not sure why. Perhaps to remind myself of my sins. What I saw and felt in that place, it was tainted by darkness and death. Those two things are all the mask will afford you. There was something else. I had a feeling you'd say that. The heavy, unnatural air I felt when I returned to the compound, it had the same stench, the same quality of the tunnels where I searched for Emiko. Sounds like a superstition to me, so what exactly is it you want in exchange for the information? I believe the energies of the mask in that place are linked. I want you to bring something back from there. Anything. It may help in the ritual. Looking for the truth will not bring you peace, detective. Purifying the mask very well might. Remember that. The compound is in the forest of Aokigahara. Aokigahara? But hey, that's the suicide forest. Suicide forest, what a dreadful name, though I suppose those woods have seen their fair share of tragedy and death. You can't just go charging in there, it's dangerous. What if you get lost? GPS doesn't work in there, and I heard even compasses won't point north. Not only that, but, well, a lot of people go there to die. I don't think you should go. You two keep talking about that mask like it's some evil spirit causing you pain, but I think the pain you're feeling isn't caused by the mask, it's just you. So many nights after the girl died in the shrine I had nightmares. Every corner I went around I'd see her there. It wasn't a ritual or a charm that made me better though, I just stopped listening to the fear. I confronted it. When you took me to see Takashi, that was the first time I'd left Kamakura since April. It's embarrassing to admit, but I was scared. And yeah, Takashi telling me that stuff about Mum and Dad was scary, but it was the truth. I wasn't hiding from some demon I'd invented myself. Anyway, I know you might not listen to me, but I don't think you should put yourself in danger just so you can keep chasing your demons. Maybe you're right, but some demons have a way of spreading to others. Seeing the Kamenkai compound is something I have to do. Well, it's your choice, but Aokigahara is huge. How are you going to find one compound? Mine makes a good point. It's been a long time. Are you sure you remember where it is? Of course I do. I know what you two must think of me, but I'm not senile. It's a hike away from the bus stop on the outskirts of Narusawa. We used to go into town occasionally for supplies. Several miles away from the bus stop, there's a clearing and a path. They're used from time to time by the Forest Service. I'll draw you a map before you leave. It continues for quite some time and eventually it'll be blocked off. Keep going forward and don't go back or leave the path. The forest could play tricks on you. Supposing the path is still there, it seems pretty incredible to me that the compound would have been left alone all these years. It still stands after all. Why would they bother to go and dismantle it? Go search for whatever truth you think you'll find, but be careful, detective. Do what must be done and then leave. Staying there is dangerous. I hope that once you enter the place and feel the same energy I did, you'll have the sense to see what I never could. You understand, don't you? The mask must be purified. I agree. Good. I'll begin preparations for the ceremony regardless. See her out. You're right. The mask has to be purified. It's super crazy dangerous. Tanaka can't come back. She never said anything like that to me. You must have really scared her. Listen, I'll help with the ritual because I think it'll help Grandma get better. But don't get yourself killed. I know in your eyes I'm probably just a kid, but I know how much it hurts to want the truth. Takashi obsessed over the past, and I was miserable not knowing. Grandma almost went insane on top of that. Grandma said it herself, you're still young. You should forget about all this and start over. And you might not want to hear this, but listening to you two talk about masks and spirits, well, you sounded like that girl at the shrine. It scares me and it should scare you too. Take care of yourself, Ito. I didn't mean to break this guy, at least I didn't beat him up. Maybe beating him up would have been better. Alright, we gotta wrap this one up because I let that run on a little bit long. We're going to Aokigahara Forest now. To the shrine. To the, no, not to the shrine, to the the compound. We knew we were going to end up there eventually. And then we're going to purify the mask. That's the plan anyway. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.